Was he right to stop himself? What's your thought? Neo and Jiho Part 10. Remember to subscribe and share where you're watching from. Thank you. The same afternoon, while Jiho and Neo are at the park picnic, in the stillness of the Han Estate's kitchen, Yemi glanced over her shoulder, making sure Yunja was still upstairs folding towels. The older maid had been watching her like a hawk ever since the day Neo moved in. It made Yemi careful, too careful. But today her phone buzzed. It was Yura. She picked up instantly. "I tried calling you yesterday," Yura said sharply. Her voice was smooth but laced with cold tension. "You said you'd keep me updated." "I was waiting for the right time," Yemi whispered, lowering her voice. Today they're not here." "Who?" "Jiho and that woman." Yura's voice cut like a wire. "What woman?" "Neo, the one Jiho brought to your wedding. I tried calling you before your wedding, but your phone was off, madam. She sleeps in the guest room. But Jiho treats her very special these days." Yura paused. "You said she was staying in the guest room." "She is," Hayemi confirmed. "Still is, but now she walks freely in the house. Jiho treats her like she's special. She eats breakfast with him. They leave together sometimes." "And where is she from?" Yura demanded. "Botswana." Another pause. Then Yura said slowly, "And where did they go today?" "They left for the park. A picnic, I think. Jiho planned it. I overheard him asking the chef to pack fruit, drinks. He seemed excited." Hayemi could almost hear the way Yura's nails tapped against a glass. "And?" Yunja said she overheard Jiho say they might stop by his grandmother's house later this evening too, but I'm not sure. Yura exhaled through her nose. Then she spoke with icy precision. "I want you to take a day off. Right now. Tell Yunja you're unwell. I'm sending a car. We need to talk." Hayemi hesitated. "Yunja might suspect—" "She already suspects you," Yura cut in, "but she has no proof. Do what I say. Get in the car, and when you come back—" She paused. "I want you to start acting like Neo's friend. Laugh with her, walk with her, compliment her, find out everything. I want to know who she is, what she wants, and why she's still in that house." Hayemi nodded quickly. "Yes, Miss Yura." "Good. I'll have someone send the car to the alley behind the estate. 10 minutes. The line went dead. Hayemi stepped out of the sleek black car, her nerves climbing with every step. Yura's mansion towered behind iron gates, surrounded by manicured hedges and cold marble. It was wealth wrapped in ice. A butler opened the door. "She's waiting for you in the sunroom." Hayemi nodded and walked in. Yura sat on a cream velvet couch, legs crossed. Her expression didn't change as Hayemi entered. "You took long." "I had to wait for Yunja to finish the laundry. She's already suspicious." "Let her watch," Yura said. "But she won't do anything. Not yet." She gestured to the seat across from her. Hayemi sat down. Yura tilted her head. "Tell me about Neo. Everything." Hayemi licked her lips. "She's quiet, polite, always smiles. She greets us all." But she leaned in slightly. "She's getting comfortable. Jiho lets her use the library. Sometimes she wears his sweaters in the morning." Yura's eyes narrowed. "He lets her wear his clothes?" "Yes." "And the grandmother, did she meet her?" Hayemi hesitated. "They left in the afternoon, I think, for the grandmother's house. Yunja said she saw them carry a small package. Looked like a rolled canvas. Maybe a gift." Yura's hand tightened slightly on the armrest. "She's winning them over," she said under her breath. "One by one." Then she looked at Yemi. "I want you to go back tomorrow. Apologize to Yunja. Say it was just a stomach ache. Then start being kind to Neo. Slowly. Find out what makes her tick, her fears, her plans, whether Jiho has spoken of marriage." Hayemi nodded. "If she mentions anything about Jiho's family, their past, even something small, you come to me." "Yes, Miss Yura." Yura stood. "You'll be paid double from now on." Hayemi stood as well, grateful and afraid. "Thank you." As the maid turned to leave, Yura's voice stopped her. "Wait!" Hayemi paused mid-step. Yura's tone was quiet now, measured but deeper, almost thoughtful. What about the other one? The older maid, Yunja. Hayami blinked. What about her? Yura stood slowly and walked toward the tall window, her arms folded as she gazed out into her polished garden. She watches you, she said softly. And if she's watching you, it means she might interfere. So tell me something. What's her weakness? Hayami hesitated. She's loyal. Yura didn't turn around. Loyalty is not a weakness, that's a disease. Hayami bit her lip, then lowered her voice. She has a son. He's sick. Lives in a village down in Gangwon province. I overheard her once. She was on the phone crying. She sends half her salary every month to help with his medicine. I think he has a condition, lung-related. She keeps it quiet. Now Yura turned slowly, her eyes thoughtful. That's good, she said. That's something. She stepped closer to Hayami. Does Jiho know? I don't think so, Hayami answered quickly. She keeps her personal life very private. Yura nodded to herself. Perfect. That means there's room to step in. Hayami watched her warily. Yura's gaze sharpened. Tomorrow, I want you to casually ask about her son again. Find out his name, his doctor, the hospital if you can. But I'm not telling you to threaten her, Yura said coolly. I'm telling you to create a debt. If I arrange for her son to get the medicine he needs, quietly, of course, then she'll owe me. And in that house, no one stays loyal forever when the person feeding their child changes. Hayami swallowed hard. And once she softens, Yura added, you let her think it's your idea, that you're the one who got me involved, that you pleaded on her behalf. Then she trusts you, and through you, she listens to me. A silence hung between them, sharp and cold. Then Yura smiled again, gently this time. Go now, and remember, Hayami, friendship is a very sharp tool. Use it well. Hayami bowed low, her hands trembling slightly. Yes, Miss Yura. As she turned and left the mansion, her thoughts swirled with tension. But one thing was clear. The war for Jiho's heart had begun in quiet whispers. Not with swords, but with smiles. The drive home from grandmother's house was quiet, but not in the way silence usually was. This one was full of everything left unspoken. Jiho's hand rested lightly over Neo's, still cradling the memory of how she'd lit up the old woman's face with that portrait. Neo leaned into the leather seat, the hum of the car a gentle rhythm beneath her, her eyes watching the streetlights blink past like stars falling. When they pulled into the estate driveway, the mansion stood quietly under the evening sky, its soft outdoor lights casting golden halos on the steps. Jiho stepped out first, circling to open Neo's door for her. She smiled, grateful, and slipped out carefully, the hem of her dress brushing against his shoe as she stepped down. Neither of them spoke. The air between them buzzed gently, like it had something to say, but didn't dare interrupt. Jiho walked her to her room. At the door, they paused. Neo turned to face him. Today was beautiful. Jiho nodded, his eyes soaking in the moonlight caught in her hair. It was. They stood there. The distance between their bodies could have been crossed with one breath. Jiho lifted a hand, brushing a strand of hair from her cheek. His fingers hovered there for a second longer than necessary. I should, she whispered. He nodded. Yeah, of course, good night. She smiled and turned toward the door, but before she opened it, she hesitated, then turned back. Their eyes met again, still tender, still charged. Jiho's lips parted slightly. Neo's hand gripped the doorknob. Neither of them moved forward. Good night, Jiho, she said softly and disappeared inside. He remained in the hallway a few seconds longer, exhaling the breath he hadn't realized he was holding. He placed one hand on the wall, his head tilting back. That moment had nearly taken him under. Inside her room, Neo stood still for a beat before closing the door behind her gently. She leaned against it, heart ticking loud in her chest. Her fingers brushed her lips as though to calm them. She reached for her phone on the nightstand. Still no message. She unlocked it and opened her messages. Nothing from Toomey. She checked again. Last message? Days ago. Neo frowned. Why isn't she replying? She sat on the bed and tapped the call button. The line rang once, then twice. Then came the robotic voice. The number you have dialed is currently unavailable. She tried again. Same thing. Neo's eyebrows furrowed, and a familiar unease tightened around her stomach. Toomey never went long without responding. She was the kind of sister who answered even with a voice note when she was too busy. She tried one more time. Nothing. Neo swallowed, her thoughts racing. Is she okay? Is she sick? Did something happen? Her gaze went to the window. The peaceful night outside suddenly felt too quiet. Meanwhile, Jiho's call with Insu. Across the hall, Jiho sat on the edge of his bed. Still dressed, he hadn't even moved to change clothes. His phone buzzed with a message from Insu. You look too peaceful in that photo. Did she say yes to marriage already? Jiho chuckled and tapped to call him. Bro! Insu answered immediately, sounding wide awake. I didn't even send you the photo, Jiho said. I got it from your driver. He said, I don't know why, sir, looks so soft today. And then he showed me. Jiho laughed. Insu continued, She's different, huh? Jiho leaned back, his gaze lifting to the ceiling. She is. I don't know how to explain it, but she's like... He paused. She brings peace. I feel like I can exhale when she's near. Insu's tone dropped into something more serious. That's rare, Jiho. I can hear it in your voice, but just be careful. Jiho shifted. I know. Especially with Yura, she's too quiet lately. Jiho's smile faded slightly. Funny you mention that. She sent one of her people to drop off something at my place. Insu sat up. What kind of something? I didn't accept it. I asked the guard to turn them away. I didn't even look at what it was. Still, Insu said, that's a red flag. She knows she can't just show up, so she's trying other ways. Jiho nodded slowly. I already told the butler to heighten the outside security. Nobody gets in without being cleared. That's good, but Jiho... Insu paused. I'm not talking about just guards and fences. I mean inside too. Cameras, surveillance. You have staff inside. Anyone could be relaying things. Jiho's eyes narrowed slightly. You're right. Trust isn't the same as control. Just make sure you're not being watched from inside your own home. Jiho sat forward. I'll have someone install security cameras. I should have done that long ago. Insu exhaled. I'm happy for you, I really am, but please don't let your guard down. This girl, Neo, protect her. I will, Jiho said, voice firm. Now try to sleep, Insu teased. If you even can. Sleep did not come easy. Jiho lay in bed, fully stretched, but the silence of the room only amplified the storm inside. He closed his eyes, trying to drift, but instead, his mind replayed everything. Neo's laughter on the bicycle, the softness in her voice when she spoke about motherhood, the sight of her offering his grandmother that portrait. He smiled, eyes still closed. How is it that one woman could make a day feel like a dream? He turned to his side, then to his back again, then to his side. Every time he closed his eyes, her face appeared, eyes sparkling, lips smiling. His chest was tight with affection, with wonder, and with a growing ache. He had never wanted anyone this way, not even Yura. That thought sobered him. This wasn't just chemistry. This was something that wrapped around his soul. Across the hallway, Neo curled up on the edge of her bed, her fingers brushing the phone screen again. Still no response. She whispered into the quiet, Toomey, where are you? Worry gnawed at her. The kind that didn't scream, but sat low in your belly, unmovable. She hugged her knees to her chest, staring at the curtains swaying slightly. But even in her worry, her heart fluttered at the memory of Jiho's smile. How his eyes had filled when he saw her drawing. How gently he had held her hand in the car. She could still feel his warmth in her palm. She had almost leaned in when he reached out near her door. Almost. But now, she wasn't sure if it was a good thing they had held back or if she should have stayed.